I know.
Oh.
Welcome everybody to Sock Talk with your hosts No Show Nancy and Cotton Toe Joe, with our chief informant Ankle Cut Alicia, special guest Sam Stockington, and of course Dr. Woolsworth.
Hello everyone, I am your host Cotton Toe Joe. Per usual, my co-host No Show Nancy is nowhere to be seen. As we continue to look for her, it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's showing of Sock Talk, where we talk about all the new and exciting things happening in the world of technology, both sock related and not.
I'm here. Sorry everyone, I always forget about these things. My daytime job of hiding underneath these shoes keeps me pretty busy.
Oh, that's okay, No Show Nancy. Hey, how about we start our audience off with a quick joke? Okay, what ancient sock was a famous Greek philosopher?
Oh, I don't know. I was always bad at geography.
Socrates! Fun fact, they say he was my cousin 17 times removed. Our family reunions are very exciting.
Okay, I have one too, and then we should really get to the exciting topic of the evening. What do you call a sock who is happy, healthy, has a great job, and all in all is great?
This one's easy. Me!
No. You call them successful. Oh, come on, that was funny.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Tonight we're going to be talking about smart skin, an exciting emerging topic in material science that I think we could all benefit from as socks, since, we don't exactly have skin.
We have an exciting lineup tonight with noteworthy guests that will explain the state of the field and give you all a thorough description of the technology and its potential applications.
It's going to be an exciting night, and I hope you all gain something from it. Let's go to Ankle Cut Alicia for an explanation.
Thanks for that intro, Joe. Smart skins are crazy cool, and I can't wait to tell you all about them. They are made of nanoparticles and are synthesized in these fancy reactions and can help computers become smarter and can help us improve prosthetics and get info about how people are feeling based on the force they exert and their behavior. It's awesome!
Okay, Alicia, we mean this in the nicest way, but, Nano what? Chemical reactions, synthesis, computers, prosthetics? I am already confused, and I even showed up for the explanation this time.
I think Nancy is speaking for all of us on that one. You think you could try again and maybe slow it down a little? Not all of us were made for athletic performance or possess a fit ideal for tennis shoes. You gotta appeal to us country folk, simpletons and leisurely socks. Looking at you, slipper socks.
Okay, I got this. Let me try that again.
I know what you're thinking, but Alicia, I'm just a sock. How can I ever understand the chemical makeup and synthesis reactions involved in making smart skins? You probably feel a little bit like this, but you're in luck. You're not just a simple sock. You're one of the smartest socks around because you went to Georgia Tech and took a class on soft nanobiomaterials, and you can do this. So here's the lowdown. Think of smart skin like a fancy material. The purpose of smart skin is to recognize and transmit sensory information about the environment to the brain. This sensory information comes in a variety of forms such as temperature, pressure, moisture, stress, strain, and even drug exposure. This information is processed by a variety of sensors. Each sensor corresponds to a different output. For example, a skin patch that tells you when you're at risk due to sun exposure will change color after sensing high temperatures. Smart skin is constructed of multiple layers and is embedded with nanoparticles or nanostructures, which are most commonly composed of ultra-thin crystalline silicon nanoribbons, platinum nanowires, or ceria nanoparticles. The nanostructures are what give the smart skin the ability to recognize stimuli like the nerves in natural skin do. The different layers are made up of pressure arrays, temperature and moisture arrays, strain and force arrays, and heat and stretchability sensors. The combination of these sensor arrays makes smart skin able to recognize and respond to the wide variety of stimuli that natural human skin has to sense and respond to. The multiple layers also allow the material to have a high durability and limits the possibility of mechanical fractures or tears. The smart skins have fast stimulus response times and sense a user's environment just like their normal skin would, like feeling the humidity and heat of a feverish child's forehead or how much force to exert to grip a cold water bottle, or even how much pressure to exert to close a door. Unlike the other sensor arrays, tiny heaters give the smart skin a more natural temperature to make the material more lifelike.
Oh, okay. I think I'm starting to get it. So, smart skin is essentially used to record sensory information that could not otherwise be measured.
Given that we are socks and have zero senses whatsoever, I think we could really benefit from this type of technology.
Precisely. Now let's talk about how it's made.
For smart skin patches that have sensors for things like sun exposure, drug delivery mechanisms, and even muscle control, silica nanoparticles are often used because they can control drug delivery and have gene transfection carriers. Obviously, the success of this approach hinges upon the ability to construct a biocompatible carrier that allows high loading of drug molecules without any premature release of the cargo before reaching the destination. Therefore, several things need to be considered when developing smart skin for these applications. First, the carrier material should be biocompatible. Next, high loading and encapsulation capabilities of the desired drug molecules has to be considered. Then, zero premature release or no leaking of the drug molecules is required. Cell type or tissue specificity and ability to direct drugs to a specific site is needed. And finally, controlled release of drug molecules with a proper rate of release to achieve an effective local concentration is desired. The perfect solution to all these criteria and considerations is silica nanoparticles. These silica nanoparticles are solid materials made up of a honeycomb-like porous structure that can absorb or contain large amounts of bioactive molecules in the empty channels. They're a great place to keep drugs until you want to deliver them. These are made using the widely accepted and appreciated Stober method, which was developed in 1968 to synthesize spherical and monodispersed silica nanoparticles from aqueous alcohol. Tetraethyl orthosilicate is added to an excess of water containing a low molar mass of alcohol, such as ethanol containing ammonia. The resulting solution is then stirred. This method allows researchers to create a high number of monodispersed particles and then change their mass in the solution.
By fine-tuning the conditions and parameters of the reaction, such as the relative amounts of reagents and the reaction temperature, voila! A silica nanoparticle is made. The pore size and volume can also be adjusted using these mechanisms, depending on what kind of drug you might need to deliver to the body. Are we having fun yet? I hope I haven't lost anyone's attention.
I feel like I could be in Mensa now. Tell me more, tell me more.
Yes, of course. Anyway, I'm sure you're wondering what kinds of applications these beautiful, majestic little nanoparticles could be used for.
One of the coolest uses of smart skin, in my opinion, is smart skin incorporated into prosthetics. This smart skin allows the patient to feel again via embedded ultra-thin single crystalline nanoribbons. A variety of sensors are placed within this nanoribbon to sense various stimuli. These layers of nanostructures also help to increase the mechanical durability of the prosthetic and make them feel more lifelike. A second interesting application of smart skin is that of the sun patch mentioned earlier. These sun patches are becoming all the rage lately thanks to companies like L'Oreal. Apply this patch to your skin before heading out into the sun and it changes color when you've received a little too much heat and might be at risk of sunburn. Our next example of application for smart skin is smart computer patches. This tiny device can measure spasms or tremors in Parkinson's patients and administer necessary drugs for treatment. But this isn't the only drug delivering smart skin. There are tons of other examples. Smart skin for use in drug administration is a promising new application of the technology. As one can see from the figure shown here, a drug reservoir is placed on top of carbon nanotube membranes. This membrane contains the sensors which begin, or in some cases halt, drug administration. The patch you see here is a new technology which administers low doses of ibuprofen over extended periods of time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, smart skin is an amazing technology that has dozens of applications already. But that's not even the best part. Since this technology is still relatively new, expect to see even more applications invented in the near future.
Wow, Alicia, that's amazing. You know, all of this pioneering of new technologies reminds me of a late ancestor of mine, the world's most prominent female explorer, Sacagawea. What an inspirational woman.
Yeah, so anyways, let's head over to our field reporter, Sam Stockington, standing by with a real-life researcher in the field of smart skins. Sam?
I'm here with noted Georgia Tech researcher Dr. Woolsworth, who does research with nanomaterials and their applications as nanogenerators, piezoelectronics, and energy harvesting. Dr. Woolsworth, how is your research being applied in smart skin technology?
Well, we are looking at ways oxide nanobelts and piezoelectric materials can be used in electronic skin technologies for sensing touch and also generating power.
I'm sorry, you'll have to explain that more for some of the slower socks out there.
Well, piezoelectric materials will generate electric current when they undergo an applied force, and we can harness these electrical signals to create give feedback on how much force is being applied and at what specific points it is being applied. So when you apply force to a network of sensors with these materials, it creates a sort of map with individual pixels where the force registers. The smaller the materials, the more sensors we can have, and the better sense of touch that can be measured.
What sort of materials are you using for these applications?
The materials are usually semiconducting nanowires or nanobelts aligned and embedded in a flexible polymer matrix. They typically are zinc oxide, gallium nitride, cadmium sulfide, or others.
You also mentioned power generation. How does that work?
Well, we create nanogenerators that have triboelectric properties that can be embedded in the smart skin.
Again, Doc, what does that even mean?
Well, these materials harvest energy from the frictional forces between materials. This means that the components with smart skin could be self-powered or partially powered by the forces in nature. This has applications beyond smart skin, but it is another neat feature we are looking into.
Well, that is pretty awesome. It was great talking to you, Doc, but I have another interview to get to. Back to you, Cotton Eye Joe.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that was a very informative episode. I feel like I really get it now. I gotta say, Cotton Toe Joe, they need to make these nifty smart skins for us socks.
You said it, Nancy. I hope all of you enjoyed this week's episode of Sock Talk. Let me hear it, folks. Did you enjoy it? I think that says it all. Thanks again to Dr. Woolsworth and Crew Cut Colin for sharing their valuable knowledge. And thanks to Ankle Sock Alicia for being a special guest on the show tonight.
Tune in next week when we talk about the wonders of whole wheat pasta.
Ooh, can't wait for that one. See you next time, everybody.